You join me on the bank where I'm going to talk you through my top tips for catching more carp during the summer months to hopefully put more fish in your landing net. And with that said, we've got 24 hours myself to try and put a couple in mine as well. So let's get on with it. So it goes without saying, the number one rule in carp fishing, before you even get your gear out the van, is location. Now, you can't catch what's not in front of you. So 9 times out of 10, you need to be putting yourself in a position where you're actually on fish. You can have the best bait and the best rigs in the world. If you're not on fish, you're not going to catch them. So in order, location is always number one priority. After that is having a decent quality bait that the fish want to eat. And after that is using an effective rig that doesn't tangle, that resets itself, and with a super sharp hook. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a look around the complex, see if we can find some fish, and make sure we get on them. Well, I know it's been said 1,000 times before, but these things really are invaluable. These are a prescription pair of Polaroids. Yeah, they just cut that surface clear off there, enable you to see through the water a little bit better, but finding, have a look through those little margin spots, all in those nooks and crannies that might give the fish away, especially this time of year. Generally the margins are shallower. If there's snags in there or there's weed in there, they'll definitely be held up in those, so have a check of them, because you may well miss a trick if you don't. It's very tenchy. Very, very, very tenchy. Not a good start, is it? Not that like that. So I'm now going to talk you through my summer spod mix. Now, obviously each lake will have a different set of rules, but as a general standard rule, what I'll go in with is 3 key ingredients, which are going to be my boiler of choice, some pellet, and also a little bit of sweet corn. After that, we're just going to add a couple of liquids and a little bit of salt for this time of year as well. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of the Pacific tuna, which is a boiler I've had some really good success on as of late. And I'm just going to take a chopper, and instead of putting round whole baits in, like the fish have seen 1,001 times before, because we're going to be spodding this out, we can afford to actually chop them up. So I'm probably going to do a good few handfuls of these, so some nice perfectly formed chops in there to go with the mix. So I'm going to spend some time doing that first. So in there now we've got the tuna chops and some 6mm tuna pellets. So that mix itself would be brilliant to use as it is, but we're going to take it to the next level. So next up, the golden grain. Don't go mad with this stuff, but just a tin or two each time I spot out. It's visual, passes through them really easily, and it's nice and sweet, but it also gives me the option to fish my favourite yellow northern special over the top as well. So nice little hook bait choice. So to finish the mix off and complement it, I'm going to add 2 different liquids now. I've gone for an oil, so I've got the tuna oil, again a fish oil at this time of the year. Will do you no harm whatsoever. I'm going to use that as the carrier to carry the Pacific tuna dedicated liquid as well. So this is more of a food-based liquid. It's going to settle on the bottom, impregnate itself into the bait and be pumping out attraction for long periods of time. And the oil is just going to bring that flavour up through the water column and hopefully draw any fish down that's passing over the top. And then again, to complement the tuna and how salty the bait is already, I'm going to add some Himalayan rock salt to the mix as well, just to complement it and finish it off nicely at this time of the year. So that would be my summer mix. Very simple, very clean, only a few ingredients, packed full of attraction, and hopefully if you use it, it'll put carp on the bank for you as well. So when it comes to rigs, I put my faith and confidence in just a couple of different presentations. Where I can do, I'll be using solid bags, but other than that, if I'm using a pop-up presentation, it's going to have to be the rotator. Now, it's not revolutionary, you know, it's something you've seen 1,001 times before, but there are reasons why I actually use this presentation. So itself, I've got 6.5 inches there of 20-pound fluorocarbon. Now, the reason I'm using that for my boom section is, number one, it eliminates tangles as much as possible on the cast, but also in the summer when the fish are moving around, you might have a lot of fish coming in your swim at once, or nuisance fish. They're playing with that hook bait and everything's moving around all the time, but you can rest assured this will be out there for as long as you need it to until you get an actual bite, so it will always reset. Now, couple that with the fact that you can change your hook quickly as well. Some of these lakes that you're going to go to, especially during the summer, they could be high stock, you could be needing to get your rig out there. The more times you've got rods in the water, the more fish you're going to catch, which means you need to be able to change that hook relatively quickly and get it back out onto that spot. So they're the key reasons why I use it. I'll just talk you through the components that I use to make mine. So I've got a rotator swivel on there with a Ridge Monkey size 4 apex curve hook, a little bit of shrink tube, and a mini hook ring swivel on there. That's a 14mm Pacific tuna pop-up, just to match what I'm feeding. So the boom material itself is a 20-pound fluorocarbon, like I've already mentioned. In the middle of that, I've got a nice mouse dropping bit of putty, just to make sure it's all nice pinning down to the lake. And then I've got a larger bit of putty near the rotator swivel, and that's just a counterbalance for the pop-up. Now, with my pop-ups, I don't like them too critically balanced. Again, I think when the fish come in and these are wafting around, if you've got this critical balance, it could be all over the place. So I like mine pinned down to the deck, and ultimately when this boom is on the deck, the only part of this that the pop-up's needing to hold up is that swivel and hook itself. And again, to couple that theme, I've got a rock bottom tungsten anti-tangle sleeve on there. This is a long one. Again, not only aids in pushing that and kicking that hook link away during the cast, but also ensures it's all nicely pinned down on the lake bed. And then I've just got a figure of 8 loop at this end, which attaches to a uni-leg clip. And yeah, away you go. Like I said, very effective, but for those key 3 reasons is exactly why I use this, especially during the summer months. Well, carp really do not come much better looking than that. What an incredible creature. And this was the result of getting all those pieces of the jigsaw correct in terms of, we've got the location right, the fish were here, we've got the rig presentation right, which was that rotator rig, and also we've got the baiting strategy right as well. This one fell to a 14mm pink tuna pop-up, and yeah, I'm over the moon. What a carp. There's still time for one more, but if we don't get one, you can't complain of that. Get in there. No sooner had we slipped that first fish back and the left hand rod absolutely melted. Pulled round tight, and yeah, another cracking mirror. It just goes to show at this time of the year, if you've got warm days, the early morning bite time is absolutely crucial. That rod had been out there since 12 o'clock yesterday, and yeah, it's gone at 5:30 this morning. So yeah, make the most of that morning bite time. The rods are back out there. Maybe this time we'll pull one more. I might be a little bit greedy, but greedy's always good. What a carp. So another little tip for the summer is there's a lot of sediment in the water at this time of the year. Now, it goes without saying that it'll show up more on clear lines than it will do darker lines, but that doesn't mean that it's not still there. And all that sediment will do, the more it clings up, it'll just lift your line up off the bottom, up through the water layers. Eventually could start floating if it's really bad, but also it'll make it stand out like a sore thumb. You'll have lightsabers going straight through your swim. So one little tip and one little thing I like to do at the end of my sessions is just take a non-scented baby wipe, wrap it around the line, and then when you wind him, just pass the line tightly through the baby wipe, and then I should be able to show you the end result. And this has only been in just overnight. It was brand new line when we started. So now all that's off there, line's pearly white, ready to go again, and yeah, no issues moving forward. So the longer you look after your line, the longer you'll be able to have it on your spools, which in turn will obviously in the long run save you more money. Well, that draws conclusion on our session. We've had 2 cracking carp. We literally had less than 24 hours, so this venue can be tricky at the best of times. So to catch them 2 incredible fish this morning, I'm really chuffed with. But if you take some of the hints and tips away and put them into your summer fishing as well, I'm sure you'll catch some lovely carp too. So until next time, good luck.